There are three boxes, one labeled apples, another is labeled oranges. The last one is labeled as apples and oranges. You know that each is labeled incorrectly. You may ask me to pick one fruit from one box which you choose. How can you label the boxes correctly? Let us pause to think about the solution of this particular puzzle. After thinking about it, let us start discussing together. Because of the inherent symmetry and asymmetry present in the situation, we would much rather choose the third box. Because if we think about it, if we choose box 1, which is labeled as apples, we definitely know that that's not the box that contains only apples. So if we go inside that box and if we happen to draw an orange from it, let us say, then we'll be confused. Is this box the box of oranges or is this box the box of apples and oranges? And then we'll meet a dead end. So because of the inherent symmetry and asymmetry in the problem, we would much rather choose the third box labeled as apples and oranges. So let us say we choose the box labeled as apples and oranges. We go inside the box and we pick a fruit. Hypothetically speaking, without loss of generality, let us say that that fruit turns out to be an orange. Now we know that the third box definitely is not the box that is correctly labeled as apples and oranges. So definitely this label is incorrect. That means it could only be the box that correctly contains only oranges. That is the only option that we have. So we will stick the label of oranges on box number 3. And then we are done with the third box. Now let us analyze the other two boxes. Now let us focus on the box labeled apples. Originally the problem has told us that this label happens to be incorrect. Meaning the box labeled as apples definitely does not contain only apples. Definitely that is not the case. So there are two other options. This box should be correctly labeled as oranges or this box should be correctly labeled as apples and oranges. But we know that the sticker of oranges has been already occupied by box number 3 and hence we'll have to label box 1, namely the box that was originally wrongly labeled as apples, by its correct label, the only remaining label, which is apples and oranges. And box number 2, which was originally wrongly labeled as oranges, we will label as apples, which is the only remaining label. This is how, by case analysis and excluding the impossible cases, we can reach the solution. Alternatively, if originally from the box labeled as apples and oranges we would have drawn out an apple, then in that case we would have labeled that third box as apples correctly. Then we would have shifted to the box originally labeled as oranges and then we would have given the label as apples and oranges to that box, and the box originally labeled as apples we would have given the label as oranges, and thus we have all the cases covered and have found the solution to this particular problem.